Hey, you guys want to know why I've been gone for 6 months? I made One Piece in Zoro Unleashed.
Luffy, it's good to see you, buddy.
That trailer was a lot longer than I expected. Tune in next time where I add One Piece into Simpsons Hit and Run, and then the trailer will be 3 minutes. It's that time again. I can't help myself. I can't eat anything without my favorite spice, One Piece. Wait, this game is good and all, but where's the Zoro? Where's the Luffy? I can't eat it without my Luffy. Sonic Unleashed Recompiled isn't your typical emulator. It's a remade version, a port to the PC, allowing for 4K widescreen, bug fixes, and usually you'd only be able to experience the game on the Wii or Xbox 360. And now on the PC, you of course get to have the best thing possible, modding. Yeah, that's right, it's only been a couple of weeks or months or whatever since my last modding adventure. Now it's time for a Sonic adventure. Oh wait, that's a different game. Never mind, no, cut it from the video, And I'm not just gonna show you the footage, I'm gonna show you all the things I did to make it. But first comes the credits. Everyone in the Hedgehog modding survey has been a big help, but thank you very much to BMDX and ARCHXE. Learning modding is an absolute gigaton of work and questions. And I asked a lot of questions.
Shut up!
Big thanks to ODV890 again for the models. They're so freaking cool. I wouldn't be able to do this without them. Thank you so much. So thank you to them and everyone for helping my stupid brain. Now for the things I used Blender 4.3, the Hedgehog Engine I/O add-on installed in Blender, the Hedge Arc Pack X Compress release, Blender DVDS add-on, the Hedge Mod Manager, the ADX Converter, and Sonic audio tools, including the CBS Builder. Now let's get into the juicy stuff, shall we? First things first, I need Luffy to replace Sonic. Yeah, that's right, Sonic, you're fired, get out of here! Now how do we make that into that? There we go. There we go. Oh no, his hands and feet are normal hands and feet. That's not gonna work in the Sonic world. There we go, Sonic proportions. Beautiful. Now that Luffy is the same shape, we can use the weight transfer so we don't have to manually weight paint the model. Sonic has a lot of head on him, but for such a simple mod, we're just gonna make the head a head. No need to worry about the stupid bones in his cheeks and eyebrows. Now as much as a red spin ball would be fun, I think I prefer the idea of my Luffy spinning like he does normally. So I got the Sonic textures and changed them to red, and got the Sonic Spinball model and just decimated it. And when he does a cool spin, it's just Luffy and he looks excellent. I'm sure he might be clipping in some places and he can't close his eyes, but it's good. Luffy, stop. Luffy, please stop staring at me. Please, Luffy, please. And in the dead of night, his counterpart appears. The stretchy fighter who only appears at night. It's Gear 5th. Now, what are you, stupid? It's Nightmare Luffy from Thriller Bark. When Luffy got force-fed shadows, he gained the strength of 100 men. And what a fierce beast he is. Running on all fours. When you get to that level of goofiness, who knows what you'll do. And the combos will never feel better seeing Luffy's arms stretch and grow like the real rubber man himself. Now that Luffy's in the game, he needs his trusty buddy, Zoro. But like Luffy, he's a bit too normal. So give me a second to change that. Now presenting our faithful companion, Zoro! Now you're probably wondering, why didn't I make him Chopper? They're both cute and they both love sweets. And they also both fly around and stuff, you know? But there's one specific reason why I made him Zoro. It's really funny. But don't worry, Chopper still exists in our hearts. And also as the health pickup. He's Boko no Takda, Toni Chopper. Of course he's the health pickup. The only sad part is I made a really charming sound effect for him. But apparently that sound effect is also the sound effect for the other pickups. So I had no choice but to remove it. Why can't I have anything in this house, huh? Why can't Chopper be Doctor? At this point, I was exhausted. Poor me. And I felt weird having this, this fox guy on my screen. So I decided to make him Usopp, but Usopp could only afford the head surgery, so it kind of just looks really funny. Mission accomplished. Well done, Daniel. Good job. Now, let's talk about the other models in the game. Luffy in rings. So cliche. So Sonic. So I grabbed my One Piece meat, and bam wham, alakazam, now we have One Piece meat as rings. So now Luffy goes around eating the meat, and he goes, meh, meh. That's a tasty meat. And umme translates to, yum yum yum, I like tasty meat. Now what the hell is this supposed to be, a stone? Sonic using mood stones now? Get that out of here. I changed it and the UI to a devil fruit. It's supposed to be a shield, but I guess it's a devil fruit shield. Wow, not everything will connect, that's just how it be. Now, to have a true One Piece Unleashed experience, you need to have models in the cutscenes, which means you have to make a separate version of the models for the cutscenes. Normally mouth movements are used with bones, so you have to be really precise about where the face is. But luckily, the cutscene models use shape keys, so I can make the mouth moves however I want. And I made Zoro act like he's a puppet, because it's funny. Are you starting to understand? I love chaos. I am happy chaos.
Can you hear it? The pulses of the lips.
I enjoy making chaos and all of the fun. But one thing I'm sad is that shape keys don't relate to eyes blinking. So Luffy looks like he's just dead inside and out. And Luffy's mouth is moving so, well, I wouldn't say smooth, but it's uncanny. Now that we've gone through the models, it's time for the UI. Changing UI is so much easier. Just get the original, make some changes, export it as a DDS, and place it in the correct folder. The most annoying part is that there's so many different places where the UI could appear. There's so many times where I added it and it just didn't appear in certain parts. And I was like, oh, you need to put it in the Eggman Land stage, that's different. Can't have one thing for one thing, that's just too much. Can't do that, can't make our life simple. It actually is really convenient. Oh, thank you so much for the experience, I'm sorry. Ring energy? When my boy eats the meat, he doesn't get boost juice, he gets meat energy. He eats the meat. It says so on the meat score. Oh, you thought it'd be in the hints? Nope. Meat energy. You can't handle Luffy's meat. For the Nightmare Luffy UI, I got some UI from other One Piece games. It was a bit hard since the bar needed to be extremely precise, since it needs to be stretched in case you upgrade your life. I also changed Unleash the Haki. Luffy is a hungry boy and he cannot stop unless he is hungry. He eats the meat and that fills his life. There you go, connection. Filled. And I thought it'd be really cute if I swapped the Sun and Moon medals for Sunny and Merry coins. It was really hard to recreate the details, but I think they turned out well. And next up we have the results screen. It has a nice little splash out of Luffy and Nightmare Luffy, and even their title. I may have forgotten that his name was Nightmare Luffy and just put Shadow Infused Luffy, but it still makes sense technically, it still makes sense. And on my quest to completely erase Sonic from my official One Piece game, and I kept getting angry because that blue faker kept on showing up in my loading screens. So I thought the morally correct thing to do was to make stickers of their faces and just slap them on each one. Ah, that's so much better. So in order to make my mod feel a little bit more unique, I changed the combo numbers so they would have some cracks on it. So like they were being punched. But it kind of looks like they just slashed with a sword, but it looks kind of cool, so I just kept it. However, I wanted the slashes to look like punches, but I'm not really proud how they turned out, but hey, at least it's something different. Now it's time for the final step, sound replacing. Replacing the sound effects and voice lines require you to use the CSB builder, so you can see all the sound effects and export them as you like, and then mix and match with your sound effects, and when you're done, export them in mono and uncompressed, and convert your sounds into ADX with the converter. Easy peasy. It's not easy. Someone help. So the obvious sound effects are replacing the ring sound effects so Luffy takes a nice bite of meat. But when he eats the big piece of meat, he says, Thank God so many generous people have left the sound effects with Luffy, Zoro and Usopp around from their other games. But since I'm not a Japanese man myself, as you couldn't tell, I had to use my memory and general gauge to fill in the pieces together. So in certain parts, Luffy could be saying something cool, but actually he's just saying how much his ass itches. And if anyone complains that Luffy says too much, then watch the anime because he says it every 4 seconds like the king he is. It would be much easier if I made a mod of myself so I could just voice it myself, but I'm not gonna do that. The Miku mod is so good because you can just pump the script into her brain. And then she just says all the things. It's such a good mod. And Luffy does say some lines during the results screen. Most of them are just saying he wants to be the Pirate King, but sometimes he does a little song. And if you get an E rank, he's so sad he starts crying. Yes, that is the crying when he lost Ace. I'm so sorry. I'm so happy. The happiest boy in all the lands. You know why? Because when I heard the sound effect, I knew in my heart that it required a specific Luffy attack, so I chose Goma Goma no Gatling, and lo and behold, oh, it's so cool. And when he goes full Unleash mode, he screams. What a perfect way to charge. And when the Werehog dies, he does the famous scream. And it would be easy to add just a Luffy scream, but I found something that's just as iconic. And like I said before, I got the sound effects for Zoro from the games, and there was a very limited number of lines where he spoke to Luffy, so expect him to go, Oi Luffy! Oi Luffy! Oi Luffy! Every 2 seconds, and every time you go to a hint, every time you hit a wall, Zoro will always be there with you, always, to say,
Luffy, it's good to see you, buddy.
And Usopp I added very last minute, as you can probably tell. So I just added a couple lines for him so he would speak in the cutscenes and the plane levels. Tails doesn't really talk much outside of those, so I didn't have to worry much. Which is good. It's the end of a line, and that dastardly evil Dr. Eggman has been acting naughty by unleashing the God of Death and killing everyone on Earth. So Luffy and Zoro have to deal with this guy. And Zoro goes Unleashed mode. I have no idea. All I know is I added Zoro's head and swords onto the fight. What can I say? It makes it 100 times funnier. But Zoro's struggling. Luffy, you have to go all out. That's right, the Supersonic is the great Gear 5th. Although because I used pre-time skip Luffy, I had to change his original textures to white, so I was able to add the hair and cloud and eyes, but he doesn't have his purple sash, so it kind of just looks like Luffy's part of a Christian choir group, and it's pretty good. Oh, the final battle really made me shed a tear when Zoro was getting manhandled by Dark Guy and said, that's when real men cried. And the cutscenes during the fight, I had no choice, I had to add them into the game. It just made the experience so much funnier.
Sonic.
No! Zoro! Don't leave us! No! No! This is really the saddest episode of One Piece song. But don't worry, Zoro will always be in our hearts. Always. I did actually stream my playtest of this mod, so come on down to dance streams. We have funny boys and channel points that make you scream. Curse and dance.
I'm gay!
When I was a wee baba, I played this game on the Wii, and it was a long journey to beat the game. And my biggest memory of the game I had was the final fight, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Compare that to this version, it was a cakewalk. Maybe that's because I'm not a stupid child anymore and become the god gamer you see before you. Coming back to the game, I feel like the Sonic stages were so gorgeous. Like, look how fast you're going in this. They must have put so much effort into this, oh my god. I never knew what I was missing all these years. And it might just be the 3D platforming fetish I have, but the Werehog stages I felt like was so fun. You're just able to run around, jump cancel to skip parts of the level. Oh, it was just so fun. And that's it, we're done. And by the way, this is not a modding channel. It just so happened I just got really hyperfixated on this. This isn't a modding video, you know, it's just One Piece related. That's all it is, okay? Alright, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in next video. Bye bye. See ya.